we relive a sense of community and values that we felt were, escaping us from real life. And certainly today, boy, it's so bad out there. It's good to have these things to keep sane and remind us how lucky we are. And it's a great way to keep in shape and to move and to keep fit. And dance till you drop should be your main, sort of aim. And it's so wonderful to see people. I mean, I feel I'm getting older, but there's older and much older, and it's great that Vicky was telling me about some of her students that are in their 80s and even some of their 90s, which I think is amazing. And they're going to definitely follow that dance till I drop kind of approach, and it keeps them sane, it keeps them happy. And so it's important to dance and learn about cultures, and remember also how important this was in our early stages. We can all flash back to the first day we discovered folk dance. And for many of us, it was like an instant hit. It's not something that just like, oh my gosh, what is this? As you walk by the door at the student union building or whatever, and you go, ooh. And we're struck by the music and this incredible energy coming out of a circle of people joining hands. And I think it's a wonderful thing, and I keep reminding myself how lucky we are, and that each of our groups are in fact individual little villages, is what it is, with very much the same interaction and context that you would find in the old village, which that itself is disappearing. That's sort of maybe the saddest thing for some of us who were lucky to be there back in the 60s. The villages are closing up. People are leaving the village for economic reasons. There's no need, there's no work. And it's amazing to arrive in totally ghost towns, which in fact are being now bought by Americans and Germans and British and Japanese investors who you can go on the internet and buy a house in any Bulgarian village tonight if you want. They'll take MasterCard, anything. And
how much are this?
Well, they're getting up, but if you were lucky to get there, a few years ago, you could find a village house for $10,000, and now there's not much under $50,000. But still, it's an amazing, if you plan to retire in the Balkans, it may be good. But still, it's not so, good news. But what can I say? Nonetheless, our villages they're also dying out a bit. It's not the huge population we had, but at least the energy is still there, I feel, and it's up to us to maintain that, and hopefully other people can join in. But I feel lucky that I came in at that time and that place. It's intensive timing, but it's never too late, to join this kind of activity. But really, it's, how can I say, and I'm one of the few that managed to actually be able to make my living from this. I would have never, if someone had told me, you're going to become a teacher of folk dance and you're going to be able to live from that. I still find it hard to believe, but it has happened. But again, I think it's a combination of being at the right place at the right time, and I don't think I could have done it today if I was coming into this whole world right now. But it did get me to travel all over the world and teaching in Japan and Australia and Europe and Taiwan and whatnot. And gosh, it's kind of weird when you think about it, but I have a hard time explaining that to a Bulgarian, that a French Canadian would teach a Bulgarian dance in Taiwan.
All right.
But why not?